Good morning, welcome to the Phoenix Blue Update for Tuesday the 4th of April, presented this morning by Tom Colley. Quiet day yesterday. We had the beginning of a new quarter, or more importantly, we'd had a lot of positions potentially closed out on Friday at month-end, quarter-end. Not a lot of news for the markets to react to yesterday, so a quiet start to the week. As regards news today, let's start with the news we did have yesterday. We had manufacturing PMI from the UK, which came in slightly disappointing at 54.2 versus the 55.1 forecast. And we also had ISM manufacturing PMI from the US, which came out bang on forecast. So neither of those doing anything significant to move prices yesterday. Going into the overnight period, we had trade balance out on the Aussie, which is a nice number from there, 3.57 billion versus a forecast of 1.75 billion, quite possibly boosted by the recent increase in the crude oil prices and demand for, iron ore, and increased demand for iron ore in the period that would have covered. We've also had the RBA cash rate announcement. As anticipated, rates were held at 1.5%, and we've also had the RBA rate statement. Now, I've had a read through that. The market has this morning reacted to that, even though they've held rates, and a lot of what's said is relatively positive and hawkish. There is one comment in there, which is the Australian dollar appreciation would complicate the economy's transition away from mining. Now, this is the main stance of the Reserve Bank of Australia. The Australian economy is trying to rebalance in favour of non-mining industries, in the same way that the UK is at the moment potentially trying to move away from its reliance to some extent on services and move into manufacturing. What it's basically saying there is the dollar continues to rise. That will make that transition more. So effectively, I believe an attempt to talk the dollar down. It certainly had an initial reaction this morning. We'll see that chart shortly. Other news we've got to come today is 9:30. We've got construction PMI on the pound. Again, there's a lot of volatility in the pound at the moment. It's a market that's very difficult to trade. There's so much uncertainty with the pending Brexit negotiations, etc., that potentially certainly want to stay away from until that news event has gone through. We then have the RBA, Reserve Bank of Australia, Governor Lowe speaking at 10:15. Obviously, he'll be commenting on his rate statement and what have you, so there may be more information to come out of that. There may be more hints of how the Reserve Bank of Australia see the Australian economy moving in the medium term. Then this afternoon we have trade balance for the Canadian dollar, and then President of the ECB, Mario Draghi, speaks at 3:30 p.m. It's one of those events. It's at the launch, I believe, of the new €50 note. So what his comments will be is somewhat unknown. He may not even comment on anything which would affect the markets. He may just say he likes the new blue colour, or whatever the colour is on the note, but certainly one to be wary of. I think that I've been reading that following the last ECB meeting, statement and press conference, where the impression given was quite hawkish, in that this was more hawkish, or certainly being reacted to more strongly than was intended by the ECB. So we may see Draghi trying to talk that back a bit at that point, with giving us potential more short side on the euro. And then also this afternoon we've got the dairy price index from New Zealand. As we know, that's timed tentatively. It tends to come out early to mid-afternoon, but in principle can appear at any time in the day. Okay, which the charts themselves. Well, here's the dollar index. we've been testing this 140 level. Obviously into the middle of last week, we had a really bullish move through here with dollar strength, as I've said before, was driven more, I believe, by euro weakness. Price action here, clearly nothing happening now. All the momentum's gone out of it, and I would expect now this market to pull back. We've got a level at 99.75 that I like here. I would expect the market to pull back to that level potentially before moving back onto the long side and taking out that 140 level. The yen selling, yen strength, the chart selling off. Remember, yen strength is down on this chart when yen weakness is up or dollar strength is up. So based on what I've just said about where I see the dollar index, we do see some potential further downside on this. I've already got an intraday order in there, as you can see on these lows here, which match up quite nicely with these opens and closes over here, and another close through there. So a decent level for trading on an intraday basis, but if that doesn't hold, then we'd certainly have the possibility of the 108 area being the next stopping point for this market. Over on the euro, well, as we said, we had that big sell-off last week. Again, we have the market stalling at this point, and again, I'd be looking for the market to pull back. There's a key level through here at 107. I'm not looking to trade that level, but once it pulls back beyond that level, if it pulls back beyond that level, there's another level here at about 107.40, which has potential. And I already, as I said yesterday, I've got a trade in place at a higher level through there, which is an end of day trade. I'd be considering short trades through this area in the meantime intraday. Over on the Aussie, well, as I said, we had the rate statement out and the rate announcement. We've broken through this key level here at 75.80 zone. We've got a clear move down below currently. I'll be looking for this market to come back now and test these lows around here. Again, I've got an end of day order already sitting in there, and there's a couple of levels through there, and the trade I've got placed between the entry and the stop encompasses both of those zones. So I'll be looking to take that back to the long side, potentially back up to the top here. We've got some sort of box range, to be honest, coming right through here. We've got a downward trend line. We've got a COT extreme signal at the top, a live one at the moment. I must admit I was expecting price to come back up there before it came back down. Events have meant it hasn't done that. So we're now looking for this long trade here from this very key level. Over on the Kiwi, this is an interesting chart. We had this downward trend line, which we identified at the weekend. We've also got what constitutes a bear flag here. Price is consolidating in this channel. We will be looking for a break of the channel stroke, the trend line, a close above, and then look for price to retest. Potentially there's a level here at 70.25, which would seem to offer a nice level at this moment in time if it was to break relatively quickly, but we obviously won't choose a level until we've had that breakout, stop of a pullback, and then targeting the high, well, through this level, the next zone through there. If you're not aware, with a flag, that's the flagpole, this is the flag. For the flag to play out in full, we expect this flag leg here to be replicated by a flag length there from the low, not from the top of the flag, but from the bottom of the flag. We'd have the flagpole replicated up there, so we would potentially be seeing levels through this zone here if that was to play out. Over on gold, we're in and around this key 1250 level. I have to admit that I was anticipating this market to move down. Following my analysis at the weekend, you can see I had a channel marked in that effectively looks like it will play out similarly as a bear flag. Interestingly, if you project the flagpole in the manner that I mentioned earlier through there, it picks out a very clear level at 1304 here. I'm not saying that's going to happen. We've got a significant trend line in the intervening area. But what we have got is we've got a close above 1250. If we get a higher and higher close above that today, we'll be looking for pullbacks to 1250 to take this market long, targeting the trend line in the first instance, and then with potential for further high side. This would be reflecting somewhat of a risk-off scenario. We saw the stock markets in the States, Europe, Japan all selling off yesterday. They did recover into the closes on the whole, but there is potential for more of a risk off environment in the short term, which would play into this flag playing out. Okay guys, that's it for today. Reminder, a week today, Tuesday the 8th, no, 2 weeks today, sorry, me and dates. 2 weeks today, Tuesday the 18th of April, you've got the opportunity for a free trading event in London, the opportunity to trade alongside the Phoenix Blue fund managers. Loads of information to glean. You can find out a lot more about Phoenix Blue, meet some existing Phoenix Blue traders who came on this sort of event, made it a start in this way, and we can give you that opportunity. If you're interested in that, if you go to eventbrite.co.uk and search Phoenix Blue, it'll take you to this page. You can register here, and that will allow you to download invites and all the information. Alternatively, simply go to the website and come and leave us a message through the contact page, and we'll do the same for you. Okay guys, that's it for today. Let's hope for a nice day's trading, and we'll talk to you again in the morning. Thank you and goodbye.